You've probably had moments like this. You're sitting with people, and suddenly you become aware of yourself, not of the room, of yourself inside it. The conversation is moving. Everyone else seems inside it. And you're just there. You try to think of something to say, but nothing comes. Your mind goes quiet in the worst way, like it's blocked, like there's something you're supposed to access, but can't. And it gets worse the more people there are, because now it's not just a conversation, it's something you feel like you have to enter, and you don't know how, so you stay quiet. Not because you have nothing to say, but because nothing feels right enough to say. And the longer you stay quiet, the more you feel it. That tension, that awareness that you're still slightly outside of it, like everyone else is just being. And you're thinking about how to be, like there's something everyone else understands that you don't. That's the feeling this video is about, but it doesn't always look like that. For some people, it looks exactly like what I just described. Silence, stillness, the inability to enter. For others, it looks nothing like that. They talk, they laugh, they know exactly what to say, and exactly when to say it. They're the ones keeping the energy alive, the ones everyone gravitates toward. But they go home, close the door, sit down in the quiet, and feel nothing. Or worse, feel like a stranger to themselves. You'd think these are completely different people. They're not. Both of them are doing the same thing, from opposite directions. One person can't get in, the other person got in, and realized there was nothing waiting for them on the other side. And somewhere underneath both experiences is the same root feeling. I am here, but I am not really here. Let's start with the first person, the one who goes quiet. There's a specific kind of exhaustion that comes with walking into a room and immediately scanning it. Not consciously, it happens in seconds, below the surface. Who's dominant here? What's the energy? What version of yourself would survive this room? While everyone else just walked in, you were calculating whether it was safe to, and by the time that calculation finished, the moment had already moved on without you. So now you're not just outside the conversation, you're outside the moment that contained it. You stand there, smiling, nodding, holding a drink you've barely touched, and you think, maybe the next moment. Maybe I'll find the entry point in the next one, but the next moment comes, and it's the same. And eventually you stop waiting for an entry point, and you just endure the room until it's acceptable to leave. You don't notice it at first, how it slowly stops feeling like a bad night and starts feeling like just how things are. It's not shyness, it's not introversion, though it can look like both. It's something quieter than either of those words. It's the experience of never quite trusting that there's a place for you, before you've even tried to find one. You walk in already expecting to be slightly outside of it, and because you expect it, you confirm it, every time. And over years, that confirmation settles into something heavier than disappointment. It becomes a quiet belief. This is just how it is for me. You stop grieving it. You just carry it into every room, every gathering, every situation where other people seem to find each other with an ease that feels, to you, like a language you were never taught. The tragedy isn't that you can't connect. The tragedy is that you've been rehearsing disconnection for so long, you've forgotten you ever had another option. Now the second person, the one who performs. You learned early, probably earlier than you realize, that being likable was a form of protection. If people laughed, they weren't looking too closely. If you were useful, you were safe. If you could read the room and give people what they needed, you'd never be rejected. And it worked. It still works. You're good at it. But here's what nobody tells you about being good at performing belonging. The better you get at it, the further away you get from the thing you were actually looking for. Because every version of yourself you offer to a room is a version you constructed for that room. Funnier here, quieter there, more agreeable with this person, more confident with that one, and you do it so naturally, you don't even notice you're doing it anymore. Until one day someone says, "I feel like I really know you," and something in you goes very still. Which version of me do you think you know? You sit in the car on the way home from a party where everyone had a great time, and you feel nothing. Or you feel sad in a way you can't explain. Or you feel like you weren't really there. It's not depression, it's not ingratitude, it's the specific exhaustion of being known by everyone and recognized by no one, including yourself. Here's what both of these people share. They both learned, at some point, probably young, that who they actually were wasn't quite enough. Maybe it was a home where certain feelings made the air in the room change, and it was easier to keep those feelings somewhere private. Maybe it was school, where the thing that made you different wasn't celebrated, it was expensive, where you watched other kids navigate the social world with an ease you couldn't replicate, and concluded, quietly, that the problem was you. Maybe there was no single moment, no wound you can point to, just a slow accumulation of small signals. Dial it down, fit in, don't take up too much space, don't be too much, don't be too little, don't be too loud, don't be too quiet. And somewhere in all of that, you lost the thread back to what you actually were, before anyone told you what to be. Both of them made the same decision at their core. I'll keep the real version of me somewhere safer than here. And after enough years of that, you're not always sure where you put it. There's something else worth naming. The loneliness that comes with not belonging isn't the loneliness of being alone. Most people who feel this way are surrounded by people. Full calendars, group chats, people who would genuinely show up, and they still feel it. It's subtle, but it's always there. It's the loneliness of being in a room full of people who think they know you, and knowing that none of them quite do. It's the loneliness of performing closeness without feeling it, of being included but not found. That specific kind of loneliness is one of the quietest, most invisible kinds there is. Because from the outside, your life looks full, and on the inside, there's this persistent low hum. Something is slightly off, something is slightly missing. I don't know what it is, but I've felt it for as long as I can remember. And the cruelest part, it doesn't get louder in the hard moments. It gets loudest in the good ones, at the dinner table, when everyone is laughing, at the party, when the night is going well, in the middle of a conversation where someone is being genuinely kind to you. That's when it peaks. That's when you feel the distance most sharply, not in the dark, in the light. And here's what I want to say about that. Not to fix it, not to reframe it into something it isn't, just to say that feeling is real. It's not a character flaw. It's not evidence that you're broken, or too much, or not enough. It's the very specific result of spending a long time adjusting yourself to fit into spaces that weren't built around who you actually are. Of course, you feel like you don't belong. You've been practicing not belonging to yourself. Maybe it was never about finding the right room, but noticing you were never fully in the ones you were already in. And maybe that's why it always felt the same. I don't know if this video gives you anything, but I hope it gives you this. The feeling that someone named it, that you sat with this for 10 minutes and thought, yes, that's it. That's the thing I've never been able to explain. Because sometimes, that's enough. Not a solution, not a transformation, just the quiet relief of being recognized, even if only for a moment, even if only by a voice in a video that felt like it was sitting in the same room as you. If you felt something watching this, leave it in the comments. You don't have to explain it. Even just yes is enough. And if you know someone who has always felt slightly outside of it, send this to them. They'll understand why.